Hey guys, got Gator Unleashed coming back at you here. It's Christmas Day, December the 25th, 2021. Man, this year has flew by. I want to wish all of y'all a Merry Christmas. Back at the channel here, been kind of busy. I have uploaded a couple of World of Tanks videos, which is a game I play, sort of enjoy. Um, Back on this choosing your self-defense weapon. Personal protection. So many choices on what to carry. I've done a couple of videos already. This will be volume 3. In my previous 2 videos, touched on some things. Touched on the Ruger LC9. Touched on the Taurus 605 stub nose 357, 38, whatever you want to carry in it. We also looked at the Ruger LCP 380. All 3 of those are guns that I like very much to carry. So I just kind of sharing my experience with you guys. And I always stress, of course, can't tell you what to buy, can't tell you what works for you. You guys got to figure that out. And I hope that I can bring some thoughts to you, especially you new gun owners, or people looking to become new gun owners. I hope I can share some things with you that will inspire some thought and save you some money. To where you maybe just have to buy one firearm instead of like me, I buy several. Always looking for that absolute perfect carry gun. And I've stressed in my previous videos, going to the range and shooting and carrying a gun on your side all the time that you're not going to be shooting. You have a very, very small chance of getting in a shootout. But it would be a sight to run into a situation where somebody tried to bother you and you didn't have anything to fight with. I don't know about you all, but I'm too old and out of shape to try to fight. And I'm not going to let nobody hurt me or my family or steal my stuff even. Just not going to do it. Just don't believe that's the way things should be done in America. I think people need to have the right to protect themselves, their friends, their family, as well as their property, with lethal force. That's how I feel. And there's a lot of laws and rules and variations in wherever you live to that. So that goes into your decision to get a weapon. Not only which weapon to get, but you need to know all your local laws and things. So I've said it before, strongly recommend getting a concealed carry license. But today, excuse me, I'm going to introduce another gun to you guys, and this is mostly for women, I think. And I wouldn't care a bit to carry this gun myself for personal protection. It's a little bit big for me. It's a little bit on the big side to carry all the time. You certainly couldn't carry it concealed very easily. You might could, but it's a full-size pistol pretty much. But it's a light pistol. And I'm just going to show you. This is the Taurus TX22 long rifle. And this gun is not loaded. I know my guns in my videos are usually loaded because I'm not doing gun reviews. This is not about the performance and the do's and don'ts and this and that of a firearm. This is just about some different options out there. Any firearm I got is a firearm that has functioned and worked well, or I wouldn't have it. And most all of the firearms out there today, there's a lot of really good firearms. I really don't think that's going to come into play much. There's some firearms that's got, lower quality control and things like that. Might have some little minor things, but you have to get what fits your budget too. That's a huge dictator in people's choices. But this little pistol right here, this is a Taurus TX22. It comes with 2 16-round mags. It's just easy to work the slide on. Women have a lot of trouble with these. I touched on it in my last video, the little small pistols. A lot of people think those are for women, and I touched on it before. That's exactly the opposite. They're not. They're for easily carrying. They're made to carry more easily. Just simply, they're smaller. The smaller something is, the easier it is to carry. It is that simple. But now this gun doesn't fit into that category. This is definitely a full-size gun. I mean, but it's a great feeling gun. It's light as it can be. And then also, and the reason I mention this might be a good weapon for women, a lot of women, even after they get a gun, I've seen this happen because I touched on before, my dad's got a gun shop. He's had a gun shop since I was a little boy. It's what he's done for a living for 4 decades or 5 decades. Women will go and they'll see a gun they like and they'll buy it. And then they go down and shoot it and it scares them to death. Because these 9mm and some of these other rounds, even 380s, they're pretty snappy, especially in these little small guns that women just keep buying, thinking they're an easier to handle gun because they're smaller. No, it's exactly the opposite. The smaller the gun is, the harder it is to handle. So this gun, I'm going to get my wife shooting this gun. It's a 22 long rifle. They're not going to experience that loud. You know, a lot of women, and they just can't stand the sound. You don't have to range. You wear earplugs and things, hopefully. But still, 9mm just gets their attention and scares them. And then it puts them, they get in that, they want to resist mode. They just are very resistant to carrying a firearm because it's so easy to go back and say, well, I'm probably never going to need it anyway. Which is true. Probably never going to need it. But the odds of needing it are increasing all the time. It's just we're going downhill so quickly in our society. I do see signs that a lot of these young people are starting to wake up, though. But man, we're in bad shape. Our society's in bad shape from the standpoint of savviness and intelligence. It's just mindless sheep is what I see all the time. I mean, whatever they put across that TV, they buy into it. And if you disagree, you're some kind of Nazi. That's just what we're dealing with. Especially these kids that go to college. The longer they go, the more they buy into what they put on TV. But that is just starting to turn. And I don't know how much damage we've been going to suffer, how much more we're going to suffer before it gets to where it becomes what in reality it's laughable. The horse crap that the media does and divides us. It's just absolutely laughable and sad at the same time. Anyway, back to this gun. Women that take this gun to the range, they're going to fall in love with it. It has no recoil. The 22 long rifle, being a full-size pistol, you have so much better grip. You have so much more to grip here. And the 22 long rifle has such little recoil, combined with this big, easy to grip and handle full-size pistol. Anybody, man, woman, or child, will love shooting this pistol. It is so much fun to shoot. That's why I bought this. Its ammo's went through the roof. And you can still afford to shoot 22 long rifle if you like to shoot target shooting things. And I have put, I don't know, close to 1,000 rounds through this little firearm. It's not made one hiccup. You know, and that's just a semi-automatic 22 long rifle. That's just unheard of. So this has been great. This has been absolutely great. And from what I've seen online, that's just common with these. So personal protection. If a woman's got this with her and she has been taking this to the range, and I don't mean only women, I mean anybody, but I stress women because I think if a woman can carry this in their purse or even a holster on their side, whatever, I think it could just save so many problems for so many people. Because if somebody bothered them and they've been taking this to the range and have actually mastered using it, 22 long rifle is 1,000% adequate to protect yourself. This has got 16 rounds in the magazine. You change and you've got 16 more. You've got 32 rounds there. Maybe 33 if you carry one chambered, and it does have an external safety. This firearm does have an external safety. It's just a great firearm. In my opinion, and again, I can't tell nobody what to do. It's your responsibility to decide. If you go out and get a pistol and jump in and listen to somebody, let them tell you what to do, you buy it and you hate it, that's on you. It's not on nobody else. It's not on nobody but you. Spend your money wisely. Rent these guns, whatever you have to do. spend a little extra money to go through the process to get the gun that works for you. Um, but this is a gun. If as far as guys go, it'll work for you too. You start throwing 22 long rifle at somebody, it's you know, I mean, if you get in a full blown shootout and they got an AR-15, or if they've got a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 or whatever, yeah, you probably you're on the small end of that. You know, that happens even less than a regular confrontation. Most things that happen is people attack somebody, especially women who they think are unarmed and they think will be an easy victim, that they can just easily rob, and sometimes they'll kill people. You know, sometimes there's people gets killed for just a small amount of money. You know, just people are just so desperate and so ruthless. You know, and this is a very small percentage of the society, but they're out there and it's increasing. But if a woman's got this, or a guy, and knows how to use it, hey, they can flat out protect themselves. And if you've got a budget where you can only afford one gun, if you're a guy and you'd rather have if you're a guy and you love a Glock 48, and this feels a lot like a Glock 48 to me, is why I use that for an example, but a Glock 48 is about $600. This, and I don't know what this is now. I got this for about I think it was $320 out the door, and they went way up. Everything's up right now, just like you know, it's just way, it's like gas and everything else. You know, that's what happens when these idiots take over. But this is a gun that you can have good range fun with and carry for protection. You know, because even though it's a full-size gun and big, like say a Glock 19 or something, it's still fairly easy to carry because it's so light. I mean, I don't know the weight. I should have looked it up. That would have been a really good thing to have for you guys. But if you go to look at one of these, you're going to know the weight. When you get it in your hand, you're going to know if it feels. I always mention it has to fit your hand. If it don't fit your hand, put it back. Ain't no use to go no farther. If you're looking for a gun to carry for personal protection and you have something in mind and you go get it out of a showcase and get it in your hand, if it don't feel right, and by right I mean you have to be able to reach the trigger and it just has to feel good. You know, you don't want to have a gun where your hand's mashed up in here like this. That ain't going to work. If you've got big old huge hands, that's the opposite end of the spectrum. But you just have to check out those things. Just the most basic things. And then you got to, if you're going to carry this on your hip, you have to get a good holster that you can carry. Not a good holster to go and quick draw at the range, or not a good holster to look at and is pretty. It has to be comfortable on your side, or you won't carry it. That's the point I want to stress on all this. But anyway, I'm getting here. I'm up at 13 minutes right now. Taurus TX22, an outstanding pistol, a pistol that I think about any woman, if they have room to put this in their purse, or if they can carry it on their side, and they may not all be able to. Everybody's different, but if they can, this is a gun that'll work for you. This is a gun that you can protect yourself with. This is a gun that will save your life. This is a gun that you can take to the range on the weekends and put 100 rounds through it. It'll cost you about $6. Maybe less than that if you buy 500 round boxes. It'll cost you less than that. It'll cost you about $4. And 100 rounds is plenty. I mean, that's way overkill to just get out and keep yourself, to master your gun. If you go to the range every weekend and put, I mean, these are 16 round clips. You know, if you put 4 15 round, if you fill these with 15 and go through that 4 times, and practice handling your gun, practice holstering your gun, unholstering it, that's going to be great. And it's not going to cost you about $3 a weekend. Not a big price to pay. That's a really good, cheap insurance policy. It really is. You can buy the gun, you know, and that might be $400. I've lost touch with these, and to be honest with you, you don't see them. Glock's got a 22 out, and from everything I've seen on it, it won't work. It jams, constant problems, and that's the last thing you want with a firearm. If it won't work, you can't trust it. So that's something else you need to really look into and research. This has been totally reliable for me through, I'll say, 800 rounds. That won't miss it much. Through 800 rounds, I've not had one single hiccup, and that is just unreal, because a lot of 22 long rifle ammo is cheap stuff, and the quality on it is not great. I do. Another thing I want to mention: if you do go with a gun like this, only use 40 grain 22 ammo. Only use 40 grain bullets. The 36 grain, I mean, they'll work through this, but they're much more likely to have a hiccup. Never 40 grain 22 long rifle ammo is much better for semi-automatic pistols. It's just much better. A lot of them, I don't know what this one says in the owner's manual. I don't think it mentions it. The Taurus, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called a Taurus, like a TL22. It's got a little flip up. The barrel flips up. You load the first one and push the barrel back down. Little tiny pistol. Those, it says in the book on them to only use 40 grain bullets. Because that extra 4 grains makes a big difference on having enough resistance to cause your slide to go all the way back and extract properly and pick up another shell properly. So that's something you want to think about. Taurus TX22, totally recommend it for any new shooter, especially any woman that wants to carry a pistol that she's not afraid of, that she can handle, that she can work the slide on, that doesn't snap when she shoots. This is just a really great handling pistol for anyone with small hands or a woman, anybody that's not as strong enough to maybe handle a bigger gun or a more powerful gun, I should say. I just want to stress that. And I guess that's all I got. I had a great Christmas today. You tank commanders. My son got me a shirt here. This is a Super Pershing. That's the first tank I bought on my first account. I started playing World of Tanks on my daughter's account just because I like Army tanks and stuff, and I'm no gamer at all. By no means am I a gamer. But they started playing this game, and I do like Army tanks and things. I always have liked history. So I got into playing this game on my daughter's account, but that didn't work long because she wants her game system. This was years ago. So I got my own game system and got my own account stuff, and this was the first tank I bought. So yeah, I just really love my shirt. Thank you, Mr. Sawyer. And I guess that's all I got. I'm glad you guys. I hope you guys can tune into this. And it's 18 minutes. I hope I haven't bored you to death. I hope I brought you something that you can use. I just can't stress enough. Personal protection. You got to be able to defend yourself. It's your right. You have the right to do it. If you don't do it, you're crazy. If you think nothing won't happen, you're probably right, but it could happen. If you so strongly think nothing won't happen that you don't make the very easy efforts to be able to defend yourself, and then something happens to you, there's nothing else that we can do for you. We have people that fights for our gun rights. It's just unreal, and people don't understand. Anyway, again, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. If you got anything out of this, please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be bringing more to you. Been very busy here with all the stuff going on. When summertime rolls around, we're going to be doing some outdoor shooting and things, and I can do a lot better. I'll have a little better channel going then. I'm also going to get a new camera for better. That's just specifically for YouTube. I'm doing this on my phone, a cheap Android phone. But I think it's effective. I think it's some good stuff. I really do. Some good information, and I've got enough firearms to bring some good things to you, to the channel, and show you guys. Just for example, this is a prime example of the Taurus TX22. Can't go wrong, guys and gals, especially gals. Give it a look. Give it a look. It won't hurt a thing to look. It won't cost you very little to go shoot it at a range with a rental program. Everybody, I hope you've had a great Merry Christmas, and I hope all of you have a Happy New Year. The Mighty Gator Unleashed is signing off, and I will be seeing you again soon with Volume 4. Take care, guys.